So I'm the head of marketing for a Toronto-based startup called Ripple. We have a web-based platform that encourages fast and focused team performance through three things, and they're really relevant things to the Barcamp movement. So we do a social recognition feed that celebrates the accomplishments of people within an organization, and that's a meritocracy, which is a really important part of the Barcamp movement. We do honest and anonymous feedback, and that honest and piece of it, the fact that you can really have honest conversations with people, is a big part of where Barcamp comes from. And the last part is about coaching, one-on-one focused coaching. And the coaching piece is probably the least relevant to the Barcamp piece, but it's really the most important part about having an open and democratic workplace. And that's really what the Barcamp movement has directly resulted in. So back up to the summer of 2005, it was time for the annual Friends of Foo Camp, or Foo Camp, which is organized by Tim O'Reilly, who is the publisher behind the O'Reilly computer book series. If you've ever seen any of those white computer books that have an animal on the cover, that's an O'Reilly book. And they organize an annual event in Sebastopol, California called Foo Camp. It's really where the sort of elite of the tech community gather for a weekend and camp out on Tim's property there. And it's a by invitation only event. So we're a group of people who sort of felt this is an awesome event, but we don't like that it's by invitation only. We want to have an open event where anybody can really attend. And we're going to have it in San Francisco at the same time that they're doing Foo Camp, and we're going to call it Bar Camp. If you've ever done any computer programming, you know that the canonical variables are foo and bar. They also mean something else. I'm sure you're more familiar with the other meaning of foo bar. And so they decided to have Bar Camp, and in celebration of calling it Bar Camp, they held it in a bar. And so for a weekend, a whole bunch of sort of tech people got together in that bar and hung out and built stuff and demoed stuff and talked about technology. And it really started a movement right from there that said, let's do these open events where they're meritocracy based. The people who are doing the coolest stuff have a chance to get up on stage or lead a session. And we won't pre-plan an agenda. We'll call it an unconference. You may have come across that term because it's spread pretty far and wide since then. We won't have a set agenda. We'll just allow people to come on the day and tell everybody else what they want to talk about and set the focus and the sessions that are going to happen for that day. So we saw that happen, and we decided to have a second one in Toronto. And we were either the second or third city in the world to host a Barcamp. This was November 2005 at the offices of T. Lax, who are a design agency in town. We had about 40 people show up. They were designers, technologists, software developers, artists, all kinds of different people. And we spent a day there doing exactly what they had done in California. The Barcamp movement has since spread all over the globe. There's been Barcamps all over Europe. There's been Barcamps in India and China. And it's the same basic format. It doesn't have to be a weekend long. Sometimes it's one day. It's also spread a whole bunch of other things. So we started a movement in Toronto called Demo Camp, where we did an evening-long bar camp where people got up and had 6 minutes to do a demo of something that they were working on. And demo camps have also spread from Toronto all over the globe. There have been about hundreds of them worldwide. We've done about 27 of them in Toronto since then. That's about 150 demos. It's also started a whole bunch of other camps. So there's recently been a cupcake camp in Toronto. It was, I think, the third one here. If you love cupcakes, it's a great day to go to. You pay a cover charge at the door, and then you basically just eat cupcakes for the next 5 hours. There have been all kinds of different camps. We actually had one in Toronto called Transit Camp, which was done in partnership with the TTC. This was in 2007. And we spent a day at the Gladstone Hotel with members of the TTC talking about what their website should be. And it actually directly resulted in them canceling an RFP that they had issued, spending 6 months really reconsidering what the TTC's website should be, and coming out with a new RFP at the end of a consultation process with members of the camp community. So this can be a really powerful tool to actually affect change within organizations. And they were really blown away by the positive nature of it. They were used to public consultations where they got up on stage and said, we're canceling your streetcar route, and then sat there and waited while everybody in the audience just basically yelled at them. And in this case, they came and actually spent a day engaged in conversation with people who really wanted to affect a positive change. And that really blew them away enough that it resulted in that process. So we've actually seen the camp movement go on worldwide to have that same kind of change. And it's actually, the transit camp that happened here then happened in the Bay Area and then happened in Vancouver. So part of the model is that you can take that framework that one city sort of creates and apply it in other places. The camp community has become really mature. And we've had some amazing guest speakers happen at demo camps in Toronto because of the quality of the crowd that we attract. We now will sell out a 400-person venue roughly every 2 months for a demo camp. So that gives you a sense of the sort of size of the community. So that's kind of an update on what's going on with Barcamp. I hope you'll all come out to a Barcamp or demo camp event in Toronto. Take it back to your companies and do it internally as a way to brainstorm and spread ideas.